Thank you.
All right, the Pier.org. We are here with the one and only SugarShack Sessions. How you feeling?
Good.
Doing good, man.
Awesome,
Thanks
guys.
for having us.
Happy Sunday.
Absolutely. So we're here at Reggae Rise Up. I'd like to ask you guys, what was your first introduction to reggae music?
Damn.
My
This should be an easy one. You go.
yeah, my first was Slightly Stupid. I mean, other than Bob Marley as a kid, but I think into modern reggae was Slightly Stupid. College, like 2005. I heard this joint, and I was like,
Nice.
"What is this?
Yeah.
This music is the best." And then I was just obsessed with Slightly Stupid and went down the rabbit hole.
Probably similar, actually, because I remember just like high school going to the beach every weekend, you know. Just had a crew and we go out there with a boombox and be like Slightly Stupid, Pepper, that whole crew.
Yep.
I'm a little bit younger than Eddie, so it's high school for me. And yeah, just same thing, man. Just obsessed with it. I mean, of course, Sublime. Everyone could say Sublime. They're the kind of like the spearhead, but you know, then the Stupid crew, the Pepper crew, and then all the way trickling down to what we got now. So
Yeah, my story's a little different. Like, I grew up in the indie rock, emo metal scene and stuff like that, so I never really got into reggae in middle school and high school. But as I got to know these guys, you know, and SugarShack's just so huge in the reggae community, I decided to have an open mind and give the genre a try. And so I started listening to SugarShack Sessions, and I started, you know, checking out some of these bands. And I'd say my introductory was like Little Stranger and Tropodelic and Hyrie, and this was Ayaterra. These were kind of the bands that were like the gateway drug, if you will, into the genre for me. And over the years now, I've just gained a lot of respect for some of these bands that have really like paved the way for up and comers and created an amazing community in genre. So it's kind of my introduction into the scene. Yeah.
So speaking on the community, obviously we're seeing these festivals went from one-day festivals. They're 4 days now. The lineups are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. If you could talk a little bit about the perspective from this side, watching it, right? Because we all know we're watching the SugarShack, but from you guys' side, from the other side of the camera, what's it been like to watch this growth and this community grow and the support?
Oh man, right. I mean, Rise Up Rise Up specifically for us has been a game changer and
really a catalyst for us.
catalyst. Yes.
Shout out Adam Simons for that. He's really the one that brought us here in the beginning.
Yep.
And I still remember doing those first interviews. It was 6-7 years ago or something like that, in backstage. And I don't know how we connected really in the beginning, but we started. You know, he wanted us to come out and do some interviews with some of the artists, and then all of a sudden we just kind of warmed our way into this Reggae Rise Up Fest, and now here we are with a fucking stage. It's wild, dude. And of course, you know, Adam Simons was the one that brought us in, but of course, you know, you got to give mega shout out to Vaughn and the whole LNE team who actually puts this thing to life.
Yeah. They trust us to do this and bring this experience to the ticket buyers. And, you know, we give it everything we got and really try to bring everything we can from the SugarShack feel here. And yeah, shout out to the crew here to everything they do for us.
Oh yeah.
And the SugarShack stage has been growing every
Yeah.
year, right?
Yeah.
So last year the sun was beating down.
Yeah.
Like you guys are rocking and rolling now.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that growth.
Yeah, I think first year we were in Vendor Row, just a merch booth and a little 10x10 riser.
Yeah, we asked permission. He said, "Hey, can we set up like a little 8x8
That's so sick.
riser, and we'll bring our own PA system and everything." And at one point, we had so many people that they called the fire marshals because they couldn't get through from main stage to
Yeah, it's
backstage.
badass because you got these bands and artists coming and playing on Vendor Row, you know what I mean? And you're like walking by and it's like Hyrie or Ted from Pacifier playing a set, right?
Bumping
just-
Uglies.
Bumping
people
Uglies,
just freak
yeah.
the fuck out.
Hell yeah, dude. So sick.
So they're like, "Yeah, we should probably give you a little bigger area next year."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it just went bigger.
Yeah, went a little bigger. What was that? October, I think, was the next one. That makeup
yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
October was the first like official in this spot, and then it was a quick turnaround to March. You know, that was the whole pandemic thing kind of screwed up the schedule.
Yep.
And we got a stage that was the same size as this, but it wasn't. We didn't have the whole truss system, and the PA system wasn't as good.
A little shorter.
Yeah, so we had a really good pre-production call this year, and we're like, hey, you know, this thing's really turning into something cool. The fans are really digging it, and let's make this thing a little bigger. So we collabed, and here we are with a bigger stage and little line array system. I think we fit 3,000-4,000 people up in this thing yesterday and Friday. So
Yeah.
It's been incredible. And I think we're getting in Vendor Row's way again with this footprint.
Yeah, we're already talking about how to make the audience bigger.
We need more space.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
when Modest was on, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, we're backstage, and we're still like working to like be like official third, I guess you call it, so we don't have like the proper security and stuff. And Modest like comes back through, and there's like people like sneaking through our gates and like running up to him, and like we're like, oh my gosh, we have to like act as security guards now.
Yeah.
to keep like the crowd under control backstage.
Sugar Shack, baby.
It's growing.
That's how it goes.
It's been a fun weekend.
Yeah.
Where are you guys? Where you guys draw your inspiration from?
Whoa. It's if I can speak to it, it's so eclectic. Like, we get our inspiration from so many different sources, and our team as a whole comes from so many different backgrounds that it's really, really cool. I know that a lot of people here at Reggae Rise Up see us in that light, working in the reggae genre, but man, I mean, we pull inspiration from companies that are bigger and better and crushing it, teams that are bigger and better that are crushing it and inspire us, podcast teams. We're constantly getting inspiration from adventure vloggers and bands and artists, musicians. I mean, it's not just, in this little kind of bubble, it's really global, if you will, like inspiration, in my opinion.
I agree.
We all have different people that we are drawn to, that we're learning from, and we bring all of these different pieces of information and knowledge and kind of like share with each other, and so we're always giving each other new little things to listen to or watch or read or whatever, and so it's a very eclectic way of growing and staying fueled up creatively.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. It's been a really, really organic growth on the team. We've never like had some like crazy business plan that like, hey, we need to bring this person in. It's like people like Bryce came along in our lives, and it was just like, he's part of the team. They just naturally fit, and that's how everybody's gonna come to where they are.
And for up and coming artists, everybody wants to be on Sugar Shack now, right? How is that process for you guys? Because I'm sure you guys are getting flooded every day.
Mm-hmm.
How's that venting process and figuring out who's going to be next? And
The golden question. How do you get on Sugar Shack?
It's an ever-moving target.
Yeah.
Worst thing is saying no, but Eddie does all the Shack booking, so.
Yeah. We get a lot of emails, we get a lot of DMs, a lot of inquiries every single day. And we cull through those, and we try to curate, a sound and a feel that anybody can sit down and watch and enjoy, whether it's by yourself or with your family. So I don't know. I feel like it's a curated taste of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And then, mixed with artists that are out there giving everything they got, taking their job as a musician serious, because it takes a lot to do what we do, and it takes a big team to do what we do. So I think that has to go both ways, right? That hustle and that grind. So I think it's a mix of that. It's a real good professional sound as an artist, or that real true talent, and then that hustle as an artist too.
Yeah,
whether that's touring or albums or.
It's like three-pronged. I think it's like there's a criteria for sure, but then there's also like a feel that we're talking about. Like, does it fit right in the curated collection? And then thirdly, is it the right time? Because sometimes it's like the first two are, we're waiting, but it's just not the right timing. And it seems to me that sessions always happen at the perfect timing.
It's true.
Right when it was supposed to happen for an artist.
It's true.
If you're trying to get on the Shack, just keep waiting and keep trying. It's just maybe not the right time.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about Hurricane Ian. Came through and right kind of where you guys are home based. I think it was wonderful what you guys did, to try to help the community. If you guys could just kind of speak to that a little bit about like what the feelings were coming in as it was coming in. I'm a resident here in Florida, and I had just moved here, so like I packed my family up and drove back up north because this was my first time. So if you guys could just talk a little bit about that whole situation, everything that happened there.
Yeah, it hit our town, our community, dead on, right? We've never seen anything like that. We've been through many hurricanes, but that was on another level, and it felt different. And to see your own community be impacted that hard was different for sure. And those days following were we personally we were okay, right? Our homes and but our friends and family not the same story. So I feel like those next couple days after hurricane were really heavy, knowing that we had such close people in our community down the street, next door, whatever it was that lost literally everything. Cars, homes, businesses, literally lost everything. We know people that lost their pets.
Yeah.
Like just literally lost everything. So
It was hard.
I don't
We had
know.
one of our crew members' father-in-law, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, like, survived the storm on a dining room table, floating on a dining room
Yeah.
table in their house, man. It's wild.
There's stories for days.
Yeah.
Like, just like that.
Eddie, tell your story. Eddie has a crazy fucking story.
All right, so
Like,
I
he's
live at,
one of them.
Yeah, I live at the Sugar Shack. Sugar Shack's my house. So me and my fiance Lisa, we live there. It's a house from 1942, so it's this old home that's been through tons of storms. So it's old Florida bungalow, wooden structure. We weathered the storm as long as we could, and we live on a canal that's off a big river. And the water came up, and the house sits up 9 feet, and the water just kept coming up from the canal, just kept coming, more than we've ever seen any hurricane before. And that started getting real close, and the wind started getting real bad, over 100, I think maybe 150, I don't know what it was. Trees, the palm trees that are in the Sugar Shack session shot were literally sideways. I could see my entire backyard, 9 feet of water just creeping in. So it got to the point where we needed to leave. So we did. Got our 3 cats, got a backpack with belongings, grabbed Nomeo, and left. Got in my truck, and we tried to get to a friend's house that had a big generator that would last like 10 days or something, and it was in a dry community. And so we get in my truck, we head out. There's water, 1-2 feet everywhere. And I get into their community, and I'm going back in there, and I take a corner, and the water just drops, like the road drops down, water goes over my hood, my truck shuts down. I got my window down right in time, and the whole truck fills up with water up to my steering wheel. I'm like up to my chest. Cats are on the dash. Everything's, all of our possessions we didn't want to lose are in the backseat floating. And Lisa and I are sitting in the truck. I jump out. I tried pushing the truck to like shallower water, but there's no chance. I'm like, we gotta get out. We gotta walk to our friend's house. So we start walking. Got cats on our shoulders. Got Nomeo, and we ended up. It was so dangerous at that time. This is mid-storm, and we're wading through water. And Lisa's very short, much shorter than me, so water's way worse on her. We ended up hitting a doorstep that was out of the water at this other house, just to take a break and get like shelter. And as soon as we sit down on the doorstep, this little old woman opens the door. She says, "Come in." And we're like, all right, I'm full of mud, water, screaming cats. And this 80, 90-year-old woman, Mary, naked. She's got granny panties. She's naked with a flashlight, home alone in this big, beautiful home. Home's flooded with like an inch of water. And Mary brings us in. We end up spending the night with her. She needed help like walking around her home. And she told us it was the one time she got out of bed during the storm to check on her home. And it was the second we walked up on her doorstep. So Mary is like our saving grace. And we spent the night at her home. And now we have like this lifelong friend of Mary, right? I don't know.
So awesome.
We ended up being
Shout
all
out to Mary.
Yeah, big shout out to Mary. Saved us, saved our cats. Nomeo lives, and like I said, all I lost was my truck, and that's fine. The Sugar Shack ended up surviving just fine, and water receded, and there's some obviously yard cleanup, but we're okay. We're all right.
So I want to talk a little bit about the Sugar Shack Experience.
Yeah.
This is super rad, right? I think it's the fact that you have people being able to come, they don't know who they're gonna see. They have this super exclusive, super kind of personalized concert. Talk a little bit about how this came about, the idea, how it brainstormed and kind of snowballed into what it is now.
Yeah, do you guys want to start and then I can kind of follow up with details on it? Because I know you guys had this idea way before I entered the scene, you know what I mean? But it's kind of come to fruition the last year or so.
Yeah, I think there's always two questions we get. How do I play the Sugar Shack as an artist, and how do I come to the Sugar Shack as a guest, as a fan? So since day one, people have been asking how to come, and we finally got the space to a spot that we can actually hold people, right? Whether that's from seating to we have a pergola now, where it's just a lot more comfortable, right? Brought it to a good spot. and a good event space practically. Being my driveway is all it is. It's the end of my driveway. So, but you know, we run a tight ship, and everybody, we're all, you know, when we're doing a session, it's primarily production, right? And everybody's tied down. So Bryce came into our lives, and like Alex said earlier, like it was one of those people in your lives who come in, and you're just like, this guy has to work for us. Like, we need this guy. Like, it just felt right.
It's day 3 or 4 of the festival. I'm all emotional now.
You know, I remember working with him through a commercial job, and I was like, guys, we got this is our guy. We need this dude. And whether, you know, we wanted to launch a podcast. We wanted to launch like tickets for SugarShack. So Bryce was just the perfect fit. So he came on and really just spearheaded that whole operation, and has taken it to a level that is beyond what we could have ever thought of. Like, it's everything and more. So tell them about it, Bryce.
Yeah, it's an incredible experience. I mean, you can go on our website, you can buy a ticket. It's true, you don't know who's playing, and it's very intentional, because no matter who you're seeing at the Sugar Shack, it's a magical experience. And I think that that's part of the surprise. You know, in our culture today, we don't get surprised much anymore, and it's really cool when you see people show up that aren't just fans of the music, but are fans of the channel. And then, you know, they look up at our marquee, and it says, you know, welcome Ayaterra or something like that, and they just start crying, and they don't know that, you know, they're there to see a Sugar Shack session with one of their favorite bands. And so it's a really cool experience, man. We've got a 3-course organic meal. We've got a catered chef, Chef Greg and Jerry. They actually live here in St. Pete and Tampa, and they drive to Bonita Springs for every single session, and they give us a very high quality, cool backyard meal. And we've got a really awesome refreshment open craft cocktail bar that we serve these beautiful cocktails from a local bar called Chartreuse. And Steve and Danielle are amazing, and they just believed in us and the brand from day one. And it's awesome. You get these really cool Bluetooth headphones. You can hear Audio God Alex's mix and Barrett's mix, and you really get a full Sugar Shack immersive experience. You know, you're able to hang out and meet with the band and see them in an intimate setting and meet the crew. And, you know, our goal with that is to really just invite people into our family, into our backyard space, and just give them a taste of what, you know, we're doing all the time. And so it's really, really, really awesome, man. I mean, we sell out sessions, we post them, and they're sold out within 30 days. I think we've got one right now open. There's like 9 tickets left for June, and we're always posting more. But yeah, we have not had a session that hasn't sold out yet, so it's pretty rad. Yeah, it's really rad.
That's amazing. So I have to ask you guys this: if you had one record that you had to listen to for the rest of your life, you're on a desert island, you might never get picked up. You have one album that you're gonna have to just keep rocking. What's that album for you?
Damn. I've probably just not listened to it. It's so hard, one album.
I know it sounds cliche, but I would probably say like the Bob Marley Gold album or whatever it is, just because if I'm out there, I want some feel good. You know, I'm like thinking like, oh, Red Hot Chili Peppers or some shit, but I'm like, not every single day, you know.
Something timeless.
But I know it's kind of a lame answer, but
I mean, he's the best.
He's a legend.
Yeah, he's the best. I would say legend, probably. I think, I don't know, that's a really hard question. What do you got, Bryce?
I mean, mine's obscure. I just have to pick, because I'd get tired of whatever it is. You know what I mean? But as far as like impact on my life, I think it's got to be like meta modern sounds and country music by Sturgill Simpson. Sturgill Simpson's the fucking man. I know it's not reggae or whatever, but awesome artist. I think I would listen to that, definitely.
Awesome. So my last question for you guys: tell us 3 things that no one would expect about Sugar Shack. Something that no one knows about Sugar Shack.
Oh, cool question.
Yeah. I would say we are way more eclectic than people think. Like our team is far more eclectic. I know that we're out here at Reggae Rise Up and stuff, and a lot of people just see us in that genre and in that way, but man, we're going to the moon with Sugar Shack, and it's going to become a globally recognized brand, a multi-genre platform. We're just getting started, and I think that that just blended, eclectic vibe, you're going to start seeing more and more artists that are hip hop, country, indie, folk, rock, like, I mean, you name it. We're just going to keep expanding and growing. We have a really, really big vision. Really, really, really big vision. So.
Damn, good answer, Bryce.
That's why I'm here, baby. That's why I'm here. I've been doing this for 3 days now, though, so I'm flowing. I'm flowing.
He's been podcasting a lot. You got one, Al?
Not that I want to say out loud.
Yeah, right. Something people don't. Say that again for me.
So something that would maybe surprise somebody that they don't know about the Sugar Shack.
I got another one, but no, it's all right. I already picked one.
It's 3 things. You can take 2.
I think we're way more like boring and down to earth than people think. Like, we're not fucking ragers. Like, everybody wants to party after these things and stuff, and it's like, no, we're going home. I'm drinking a glass of wine. I'm eating dinner. I'm doing yoga. I'm journaling, and I'm going to bed. Like, it's really, we're pretty chill dudes, you know. We work really hard, and yeah, I don't know. We're not ragers.
I was in bed by 11 last night.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
fucking great.
I was all spread out in his bed, just chilling. Yeah.
We're all in our 30s now. So
Yeah.
it's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
I gave him 2, so
know.
y'all gonna
That's
have to do one
a
of
hard
them.
question.
Yeah,
I feel like we're pretty transparent too. So you know, as a crew
yeah.
and what
we
we do.
film like everything we do. Like, what
Yeah. Okay, yeah. We're working on a second channel. That's fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you
nice.
go.
There's
There you
a
go.
third one. We're working on a second channel.
Yeah.
You know, we're putting a really big effort in personalizing the brand and bringing the life behind the cameras, behind the microphones in front, and showing that this has been a grind of this crew for 9 years now, giving everything we got. Now it's a crew of 11. We're trying to get into the vlog and the documentary stuff and the storytelling and behind the scenes and that kind of content on a second channel. So we're building up content for that right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Yeah,
Vlogging.
we're having fun.
Yeah, I've got like a half one. People kind of know, but not like super public. We have a recording studio, so bands don't have to come do the Sugar Shack. Like, you can hire us to come do our studio.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
That's a really good one.
That is a really good one.
Barrett is secondhand audio, so it's all secondhand audio. That's not a terrible.
That's
Cut that.
great.
He's the other audio engineer on the team, and he runs the studio now, and he does a great fucking job.
Yes,
Yeah.
he does.
Hey, Barrett.
Shout out to Barrett.
Cool question.
Hey guys, thank you guys so much for your
Absolutely.
time. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.